The day I decided to stop calling her Mummy was the day my stomach was empty and my heart was full of anger. I was still small, but I knew something was wrong. Food was on the table, but it was not for me. I stood there and watched the pot cover shake as soup boiled, and I knew I would sleep hungry again. That evening, when she called my name, I did not answer her with Mummy. I answered her with her name, Izine. My voice was calm, but inside me something broke and never joined back the same way. People think children do not know anything. They think we forget easily. They think we do not count how many times we cry alone. But I remembered everything. Let me tell you how it started. Our compound was always noisy, many rooms facing each other, women cooking outside, men shouting about football, children running up and down. Every morning I greeted everyone because that was how I was taught. Good morning, Auntie. Good morning, Uncle. Good morning, Mama. When I got to Izine, I used to say, Good morning, Mummy. I said it with pride before. I liked the word. It made me feel safe. But slowly things changed. If visitors came, I was pushed aside. Sit there and keep quiet. Do not come out and disturb us. If food was small, my plate was the first to be removed. She will say, Children can endure hunger. If I cried, she will say, Stop that nonsense, or I will give you something to cry for. One day, my auntie from the village came. She had children. They were my age. When they greeted Izine, she smiled. When I greeted her, she frowned. Later, I heard her tell someone that I was her sister's child she was helping to raise. I stood behind the wall and listened. My chest was hot. That day, I did not eat till night. I went to school like every other day. I played, I laughed, but when school closed, fear entered my body. Going home did not feel like rest, it felt like work. That evening when food was served, she gave the best part to someone else. I looked at my plate, my eyes were full of water, but I did not cry. I ate slowly. When she asked me to bring water, I stood up and said, Yes, Izine. She stopped and looked at me. She asked, What did you call me? I did not answer. I brought the water and sat down. From that day, I stopped saying the word mummy, not because I forgot it, but because it stopped meaning what it used to mean. The compound noticed. They laughed. They called me stubborn. They did not know that each time I said her name, it was the only power I had left. That was how my story truly began. After I stopped calling her Mummy, the compound became louder, even when nobody was shouting. Every small thing I did was now watched. Children pointed at me, women whispered when they thought I could not hear, some laughed openly, some shook their heads like they were pitying me. Every morning I still greeted everyone. Good morning, Mama this. Good morning, Auntie that. When I got to Izine, I greeted her the same way I greeted the others. Good morning, Izine. My voice never shook. Inside me, I was shaking plenty. She tried to correct me at first. She would snap my name and say, Call me Mummy. I would look at the ground and keep quiet. If she beat me, I cried quietly. If she shouted, I swallowed my tears. I did not hate her. I was just tired. School was the only place I felt like a normal child. My teacher smiled at me. When I answered questions, she nodded. When I played football, nobody reminded me of what I was not. But even in school, some children had started asking questions. Why do you call your mother by her name? Is she not your real mother? I did not know how to answer them. I just shrugged and ran away. Coming back from school was always slow. I dragged my feet because I did not know what mood I would meet at home. Some days she ignored me like air. Some days she sent me on errands again and again until my legs were tired. If I complained, she reminded me that she did not beg God for me. That sentence followed me everywhere. I heard it when I washed plates. I heard it when I swept the compound. I heard it when I lay on my mat at night, hungry and thinking. One evening, there was a small party in the compound. Someone bought rice and invited neighbors. The smell filled the air. I was happy because I thought I would eat. When it was time, she dressed my cousins well and sent them out. She told me to stay back and watch the pot. As I sat there, I heard people outside laughing and eating. I watched steam rise from the rice. My stomach was turning. When she came back, she looked at me and said, "You should be thanking God you even have a place to stay." That night, I did not sleep early. I listened to adults talking. One woman said, "A child that does not call his mother Mummy is a cursed child." Another said, "Maybe the mother is the problem." My ears were open, my eyes were closed. The next morning, she forced me to kneel in front of her. She asked me again why I refused to call her Mummy. Her voice was tired, not angry. I wanted to speak. Many words were inside me, but my mouth refused to open. I stood up, greeted her, and went to school. As I walked away, I knew something had changed forever. The compound was watching, but nobody could see what was happening inside me. I was learning how to be quiet, how to endure, and how to protect my heart with silence. I did not plan to talk that day. I woke up like every other morning, washed my face, and tied my school bag. My heart was heavy, but I was used to that feeling. What I did not know was that the words inside me had grown too big to stay quiet. That afternoon, I came back from school earlier than usual. Rain started falling small, and most people ran inside. The compound was quiet. Izide was inside the room, sitting on the bed. I wanted to pass and go to my corner, but she called my name. She did not shout. That was what scared me. She asked me to sit down. Her face looked tired, not angry tired, but weak tired. She said people were laughing at her. She said relatives were asking questions. She said I was disgracing her in front of everyone. As she talked, something inside me began to shake. My hands were cold. My chest was beating fast. She asked me again why I would not call her Mummy. She said she carried me on her back when I was small. She said she paid my school fees. She said I should respect her. I kept my eyes on the floor. My mouth was dry. I wanted to lie. I wanted to say sorry and call her Mummy so everything would end. But another voice inside me said if I did that, I would be lying to myself. She stood up and said she was waiting for my answer. That was when the words came out. I told her I stopped calling her Mummy because she stopped acting like one. My voice was shaking, but I did not stop. I told her about the days I slept hungry while visitors ate. I told her about the time she told people I was not her child. I told her about how she never came to my school, but dressed well for my cousins. I told her about the day she said she did not beg God for me. As I spoke, tears entered my eyes, but I did not cry loudly. I was afraid if I cried, I would stop talking. I told her that Mummy was not just a name, it was something you earn. I said I was still a child, but even I knew when love was missing. When I finished talking, my whole body was shaking. I expected a slap. I expected shouting. I expected more pain, but none of that came. She sat down slowly. Her mouth opened, but no sound came out. Her eyes were red. She looked at me like she was seeing me for the first time. The room was quiet, except for the rain beating the zinc roof. After a long time, she said nothing. She waved her hand for me to go. I stood up and left the room. My legs were weak. I did not feel strong or happy. I felt empty, like I had poured out everything I had inside me. That night, I lay on my mat and stared at the ceiling. I wondered if I had done something bad. I wondered if I would be sent away. But one thing I knew was that I had finally spoken my truth. And once words leave your mouth, they do not go back inside again. After the day I spoke, the house changed. Not loud change, not clear change. It was the kind of change you feel in the air but cannot touch. Izina did not shout at me again. She did not beat me. She did not also become kind suddenly. She just became quiet. Silence can be heavier than noise. Days passed. I still woke early. I still swept the compound. I still went to school. But something inside me was tired. Talking that day took something from me. I did not know you could be tired inside your chest. At school, my teacher noticed I was dull. I did not run around again. I did not fight for the ball during football. When lessons were going on, my eyes were open, but my mind was far. When school closed, I walked home slowly, like my legs were carrying load. One evening, rain fell very hard. Cold entered my body. That night, my head started hurting. My body was hot, but I was shaken. I lay on my mat and tried to sleep, but sleep did not come. My stomach was empty, my head was spinning, and my eyes were burning. I did not call anyone. I was used to enduring. Later in the night, the fever became worse. I started talking in my sleep. I did not know when Izina came close to me. I only knew because cold water touched my skin. I opened my eyes small and saw her face above me. She looked scared. She touched my forehead again and again. She brought a bowl of water and started wiping my body. Her hands were shaking. She called my name many times. I wanted to answer, but my mouth was heavy. That night she did not sleep. I knew because every time I opened my eyes, she was there, sitting, watching, wiping, praying quietly. I heard her whisper words I had never heard her say for me before. Words like, "Please, God." Words like, "Do not take him." At some point, tears dropped on my face. I did not know tears could be hot. I wanted to talk. I wanted to say something, but sickness held my mouth tight. Morning came slowly. My fever reduced small. My body was still weak. I slept and woke up many times. When I finally woke properly, the sun was already high. The compound was quiet. Izina was sitting on the floor beside me. Her eyes were red and swollen. She looked smaller, like someone had removed something from her. She did not shout. She did not complain. She just looked at me and said she was sorry. That was all. No long talk, no excuse, just sorry. I turned my face to the wall, not because I hated her, but because I did not know what to do with that word. Sorry did not erase hunger. Sorry did not remove memories. Sorry did not change everything in one night. But still, something shifted. That was the first night she stayed with me till morning, and even though I did not say anything, my heart felt confused. Hurt was still there, but hope knocked small at the door. After the night I fell sick, things did not change fast. Life did not turn sweet like magic. But small, I began to notice things. Not big things that people clap for. Small things that only a child who has been watching for long will see. She started waking up early. Before, she used to send me to fetch water while she slept. Now, when I woke up, the bucket was already full. She did not announce it. She did not call anybody to see. It was just there. When food was small, she shared it equally. Sometimes she even pushed her own portion closer to me. If visitors came, she called me to sit with them. When people asked questions, she said, "This is my son." Her voice did not shake. I waited. I did not rush. At school, she came one day without telling me. I was standing on the assembly ground when I saw her at the back watching. My chest became tight. After school, my teacher told me my mother came to ask about me. I did not talk on the way home. She did not ask why. She started asking me about my day. At first, I answered with one word, "Fine, okay, nothing." She did not force it. She just listened. Some nights I caught her staring at me while I slept. I pretended to be asleep because I did not know how to act. I was afraid that if I opened my eyes, everything would break again. People in the compound noticed too. The laughter stopped. The whispers died. Some women nodded when they saw us together. Some did not say anything. Inside me, there was a fight. One part of me wanted to forgive quickly. Another part was scared. I did not want to give the name back and lose myself again. The name was not just a word, it was my shield. Then one morning, I woke up from a bad dream. In the dream, I was small again, crying alone. My chest was heavy. I came outside and saw her sweeping. She looked up and saw my face. She dropped the broom and came close. She did not ask questions. She just held me. Her hands were firm, not forced. For the first time, I did not pull away. The word came out before I could stop it. Mommy. She froze. The broom fell from her hand. Her breath stopped for a moment. She did not shout. She did not cry loudly. Tears just rolled down her face as she held me tighter. I did not feel weak for saying it. I felt strong. I felt like I made the choice myself. From that day, I called her Mommy again. Not because the compound was watching, not because she demanded it, but because she changed and I changed too. Now I know something important. Being a parent is not about carrying a child, it is about staying. It is about choosing love again and again. And names like Monty are not given by force. They are returned when the heart feels safe enough to speak.